Whenever I am in Delhi, if the students have come to know, invariably they would ask me to address the several issues, how India has been changing. We have been reflecting together. But now a stage has come, whether we'll have meetings in future, whether we will be able to meet the students. Now I can narrate, of course Ajay was telling why this attack on the Chief Justice of India, what is the background, and of course the situation is getting aggravated further. But University of Hyderabad, I taught for 25 years. I was the head of the department, I was the Dean, School of Social Science, I was the in charge Vice Chancellor. But when students asked me to speak on future of Indian democracy, my own university, the gates were closed, and the main gate they kept a lot of police, and we have a small gate, and since my son teaches there, he was driving the vehicle, the watchman stopped us, the gateman. We asked what is happening. He said some Hargopal is coming. There's a lot of tension on the campus, all shopping complex is closed, and the Vice Chancellor is not around, and therefore they kept the police on the main gate not to allow him to the university. I was so stunned. I can't just believe that a faculty member who has been there for such a long time is not allowed into the campus to speak is something of what is happening to the country. And what was the topic? It was future of Indian democracy. Anyway, once I reached, there were a large number of students, arrangements were made, and I started, and I said that you don't need any lesson or any lecture on future of Indian. It's enough that a teacher who has been a part of this university is not allowed to speak to his own students. So this is enough. Meanwhile, the Registrar, Public Relations Officer came, and they said, sir, this meeting is not given permission. I said, why does anybody need permission? Why student need a permission to hold a meeting? But then they said, sir, Vice Chancellor is not around. We don't have permission of Vice Chancellor. Please postpone your meeting to tomorrow. Once Vice Chancellor comes, we'll give formal permission. All that they started saying. So you can imagine, I was a part of Tata Institute of Social Science. And the Tata Institute of Social Science students, whenever I went on official, because I was a faculty member for 3 years, senior fellow. Now there is no question, the Vice of the Tata Institute, we had a meeting. She came and she started saying, sir, we have a lot of problems, inquiries from the government. They are asking why so and so is invited. Can you imagine a university in a country where the students are not allowed to invite the speakers? See, why things happen this way? I think there is a lot of change India is undergoing, and of course, as a political economy student, I keep on tracing it to larger economic causation. But the model of development now they want to push through is a model which is not for people. And once you want to push through the corporate model, there will be definite resentment in the society. Definitely dissent in the society. So much of unemployment, poverty, growing inequalities. And therefore, the model wants such a governance that no dissent should be allowed, and the model has to be pushed through. And you know what is happening in Bastar. Now openly they are saying that we will finish, and the Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh in an interview said we will not, because we have to hand over the minerals to the corporate. I am quoting from his interview. We want to hand over minerals to the corporate, whether the trees come across against us or whether human beings, we will eliminate them. Nature or human being, nobody should obstruct this model of development. I was stunned that he has given an interview to Economic Times saying that we want to push through this model. What for? You are pushing through the model, but what for? Because the model is not people-centric. It's very simple. So if the model is not people-centric, people become a problem. For a democratic governance, if people are problematic, then imagine what is likely to happen. So in the process, what has happened that both the global capital and local capital, corporate capital, all institutions that are built, Digvaji is here. Laboriously we have built institutions. Supreme Court, Election Commission, National Human Rights Commission, SC/ST Commission. Look at the institutions across the board. When I was a delegate of National Human Rights Commission to Vienna conference, to a Canadian Foundation of Human Rights. Justice Venkatachalaya was there. Now I can't go to National Human Rights Commission. Now their gates are closed. There is a box. If I have any complaint, you have put that in box. SC/ST Commission has become so weak, which is supposed to be protecting the interests of the weaker section, marginalized section, any grievance in any part of the country, you have a commission. It was led by no less a person than B.D. Sharmaji, as the first SC/ST commissioner. The election commission, which is supposed to be conducting fair and elections in the country, election commission has been hollowed. Why institutions which have been built so laboriously are getting dismantled? You please think it over. It's for your generation. I was a lucky generation. I was a post-independence person, but I don't think even Sukumar was with us in University of Hyderabad. We never felt constrained. 55 years I taught. I don't think in a class I have ever thought what should be taught, what not should be taught, whose name should be mentioned, whose name should not be mentioned. It never happened. But today, what is to be taught, what is not to be taught, whose names you should mention, whose names you should not mention. See, this is the authoritarian. The model is increasingly becoming authoritarian. And universities are again major target of the present regime. All right, they have been targeting institution after institution. Our final hope was the Supreme Court. Because finally you look to Supreme Court. Recently I met former Chief Justice of Supreme Court in a meeting. I was sitting next to him. I asked him, sir, what happened to Judiciary? Then he said, no, Professor Hargopal, or the other institutions all right, is there, society is all right. Is not society getting degenerated? Why do you think Supreme Court is so independent, so autonomous from the society? Is everything all right with universities? Everything all right with other institutions? But I said, sir, you are the last hope. If my university, misbehaves with me or is undemocratic, I come to you. But then he said that it's a part of the overall degeneration of the society. Now, my last point is, because I will be brief because there are others to speak. What is happening is that a neoliberalism is breaking all social relations. All social relations. In my part, I think it is happening all over India. Mothers are killing children. Can you ever imagine a mother killing the children? In Telangana, so many incidents happened where one mother has taken 4 children, threw in the river, and she committed suicide. It is not one incident, I am saying. Several. Mother-child relation, which is the most sensitive relation, is breaking down. What is happening? Why relations are breaking down? For this model of development, a social solidarity, harmony, all of us being together, student and teacher, exchanging views. You may challenge our views. That happened to me. Then you may challenge our views. That's what is expected of a student. And that's how knowledge grows. But today, universities, the places, the real democratic spaces are all getting addition to that attack on the most marginalized section. Because that is the section ultimately going to question this model. It's the students who are facing, immediately after the education, what will happen to your life. That itself is one major anxiety students are suffering from. And then the marginalized sections, because they will further marginalize. And they are bound to raise the questions, if not today, tomorrow. So therefore, keeping the people under fear, constant fear, and then attacking the institution. That's why the minorities and Dalits, whom they claim they are a part of the Hindu structure, if you say that they are Hindus, right, at least among Hindus you have to have some respect for your own people belong to. That's all wrong. I mean, there is no question of any religion. It's all Brahminism. It's not Hinduism. If you read Nehru's Discovery of India, you read Amartya Sen's Argumented to Indian, there are 6 streams of thought. Brahminism is one stream of thought. There is a Sankhya. Now what happened to all Hindu and diversity of philosophies, the arguments people had among themselves, among the philosophers, among ideologues. Now if you look at that, all ideologies within the Hindu structure, they are being closed down. Only one ideology, that is the Brahminical ideology. And since I come from that background, I must confess that this, Brahminical, it teaches you right from the day one how to keep untouchability, how to practice untouchability. Because as a child I know how in my house there used to be continuous my grandmother telling, don't touch Dalits. Since there were Dalits in my class, I would come, I have to take off my clothes and then go inside the house, take bath, and my grandmother will put water in the clothes and take away. This is the worst type of thing that can happen. One human being not interacting with another human being. Now today, they know that Dalits are bound to question this model of development. Right now they are not united. There is a lot of fragmentation that is working in their favor, what Ajay was mentioning. But Dalits soon will realize, because all their experience will be common experience. And to convey a message to the society that they will not spare any Dalit, whatever position that he occupies. Today, Chief Justice of India has become the target. This is the last straw on camel's back. A person who rose to the highest position from that background is something which is not to their liking. And therefore the man who thrown the issue is not regretting. See, sometimes out of emotion I may do something, but immediately I regret. He is saying, no, I have no regret. What I have done? He's openly saying, yes, I have done it. Now he is saying, God made me to throw it. I don't know what type of God. God does this type of thing. God is supposed to be, the supreme emotion, supreme nobility. God is supposed to be representing all the positive human values. Does God tell somebody, go and beat somebody, throw the chappals on the CJS? How can God do that? So therefore, he giving this excuse that God made me to do this act and therefore I am not responsible. Now friends, you are a JNU student, still JNU has some life. Still I keep on telling you, my student, University of Haragopal, JNU is holding this meeting with all type of climate, that has unfolded in JNU, all sorts of repression, and so much of contempt for the hatred, and hatred for JNU, I can't imagine. To go and talk to some people, they say that there are beer bottles, there are scotch bottles. Then I don't know, say who tells them that they go on telling all sorts of stories about the girls, about the boys. Lot of misinformation about our institution. This is an institution which has given the best of people to the country. Can't the external affairs minister say JNU is not like that? I am a product of JNU. Can't he argue? Can't the finance minister say that no, I am a product of JNU? But then everybody is silent. But then I must tell you on this occasion that please speak up confidence. Silence, as I say, it is very dangerous for your generation. My generation, we enjoyed all freedom. We enjoyed all freedom. We have written, we spoke whatever we wanted to speak. We took stands. I have been in civil liberties movement. I handled 3 kidnaps in the country. And when I handled a kidnap in Orissa, my vice chancellor, of course, my relation with our vice chancellor was not good. It was very strained. But then, when I came back and asked the head of the department what type of leave I should apply, he said, your relations with the Vice Chancellor is strained, you better go and talk to Vice Chancellor. I went to Vice Chancellor and said, sir, I have gone for this task on the request of both the sides, and I would like to know that what leave should I apply. My Vice Chancellor, with all strain, he said, Hargopal, you have done pride for the university. An academic has been invited to resolve a conflict, to negotiate. It's a pride for the university. It will be treated on duty. From that situation, if I had today gone to a similar incident, if I had gone to some place to negotiate between Naxals and government, imagine my services would have been terminated. From where we have travelled and where have we landed? My own life experience tells me what has happened in this society. Your generation has to stop this. You have to contain this for in your own interest in the coming generations. If you keep silent, future generation will ask question, what your generation was doing when things were going so wrong. We owe something to the future generations also. Therefore, my appeal as a teacher, having taught for such a long time, my appeal to all of you, please think, please reflect what type of society you want to live in, what a vision you have of the future society. It's your responsibility. You have the privilege of coming to one of the prestigious university, and you owe something to the society which has sent you here. And please reflect, protect democracy and the dignity of a Dalit is the final hallmark of civilization advancement. A nation would deny dignity, self-respect for centuries. Our responsibility is to restore that dignity. Anyway, Dalits are fighting their own battle. In that context, we are saying the attack on CJI is something where JNU students do not want to be silent. We want to speak out, because that is something which is an indication of something going seriously wrong with the society. I thank all of you for this patient listening, and I am also happy to come back to JNU to speak after a long gap. Thank you very much.